All right, superstars. Today, starting this week with functions. Really, this was a quick chapter when we first did it during the normal school year. I think it was around November or so. Hopefully, you'll be able to access some of that information. Just quickly scanning your assignments over it. I should say, a bunch of these problems are really quick, but really want you to focus on the explanation part. Being able to put the stuff into your own words, that'd be fantastic. And then moving on, so we'll make other videos for this as well. And if you notice on Thursday, just a few problems there looking at your graphs. So let's go ahead and jump in right away. I can determine if a relation is a function. So looking at this information here, relations and functions. So let's skip to some information here. Excuse me. Woo! Coronavirus. All right, that's what my kid's been saying when everybody sneezes. Silly, silly kids. All right, so you might see your information presented to you like this in a mapping diagram. It might be a table, it might be a graph, and so on, but what we're really asking you to do is to determine if it is a function or not a function. Now, one of the easiest ways that we tried to do it was trying to think about that teenage relationships where we want no cheaters at all. We're looking at just the input or the x value on an actual table. No cheaters. Good friends only. So, for example, on this one here, you notice that each individual person, if you will, is dating one other person. So, for example, just one simple arrow. I know that may seem silly, but the explanation is function because each input has one output. And surprisingly, when we had students working on this assessment way back when, they were getting the information flipped. So for example, they were thinking about the output. We're talking about the input has one output. So on this one right here, all the inputs look good. So function because each input has one output. But on part B, notice 2. The 2 there has an output of 1 and -2. So technically they would be a cheater, not a good group of friends. So this is not a function because 2 has 2 outputs. Looks good. Again, it's just a quick glance when it's in that mapping diagram. Looks good. Now, some people may say, but Mr. Murillo, 5 and 12 are going to 10. That's not what we're concerned about. We're concerned about if the input has one output, and all of these inputs have one output, so therefore it is a function. Where over here on B, -2 looks good, -1 looks good, but it's a 0. 0 is dating 5 and 6. Not good. Not a function because 0 has 2 outputs. Really easy to see there. So jumping on, not a function, has 2 outputs. So when we have it in the form of an actual data table, so what you need to be able to do is look to see, so let me see if I can sketch this real quick. Simply your numbers. They're not going to have arrows, but again, it may say something like this, 2, 4, 6, ooh, I'm trying it without the pen tablet. But then again, it might have another 2. So right there, you would know that they are repeating x's. So therefore, not a function. So look at your input, not your output. Does each input have one output? Now, let's scan back at the actual assignment there. Looking at your graph form of it. Remember, we talked about what was called our vertical line test. Maybe you can think back about that. Same thing with these other ones here, a vertical line test. But we do know that a closed dot and an open dot are a little bit different. Hopefully you can refresh your memory. What is different about an open dot instead of a closed dot? So vertical line test. Vertical line test, again, was really asking yourself, how many times does it touch? So vertical line test would look something like this. So you just make some vertical lines, multiple tests. If it touches once, then it's a good group of friends. So it is a function. However, if it touches more than once, it is not a good group of friends or not a function. When it's just dots again, you can do the same thing. So everything would look good here. However, maybe on this one there was another dot. So when you did your vertical line test, it would actually touch twice. So therefore, it would be not a function. On this one here, maybe there was an open dot. An open dot is different than a closed dot. An open dot is not technically part of the data, so that means when I do my vertical line test, it would only touch once, not twice. So therefore, it would be a good group. It would be a function. And the explanation again is each input has only one output. So again, functions, really quick information there. Go ahead and do your best. Go ahead and rock that. Again, don't look at just the answers. Do some work and then compare to the answers that we have provided with you or for you. All right, be awesome.